Don't go chasing waterfalls. In business, we all know there's a very fine line between success and failure. An organization's ability to deliver is often the one crucial difference between the two spectrums. With project delays being such a common occurrence in the banking industry, why do most banks persist with sticking to a waterfall delivery methodology? Waterfall has long passed its used-by date, and it's time for the industry to start evolving its approach to delivery. With the pace of change increasing exponentially, the need to try something different is more crucial than ever. Isn't it ironic that someone decided to name the methodology Waterfall? Have they actually seen a waterfall in real life? It is not structured and rigid. The only comparison I can see between a real waterfall and the methodology is the crashing sound it makes when it lands. During my time in the industry, I've heard of the endless cases of banks delivering strategic projects late and over budget. It's got so bad in some organizations that marketing managers refuse to plan launch activity until at least a few weeks after the expected go-live date. They plan for delays to happen because they've been burnt so many times in the past. Delayed projects are not just a drain on resources. They can cause a multitude of downstream impacts, pun intended. More money is required, which is generally reallocated from other projects. Rework is created for the project team, its stakeholders, and its dependencies. This often causes other holdups. Staff on the project can't be reallocated and utilized to start the next phase or a different initiative. Worst of all, your demanding customer base can't use the great new service you've planned on launching. All of this leads to frustration that impacts the morale of the entire project team. When projects invariably fail in banks, senior management reaction can vary significantly. This can actually be one of the more interesting dynamics to observe in the office. Some dive into the project believing that their leadership and management skills can solve the problem. Some start playing the blame game and go into supplier bullying mode. Some accept excuses about unexpected complexity, whilst some choose to ignore the issue altogether and accept that delays are just part and parcel of the delivery lifecycle. All, however, choose to ignore the underlying issue. The methodology being used doesn't suit the project it is being used for. For some reason, banking remains one of the few industries to have avoided the significant adoption of agile delivery methodologies. I do not propose to go into detail about the different forms of agile delivery. There's a wide range of them, and they all have their own little intricacies. The key to all agile projects, however, is a strong focus on the end customer, close collaboration, and team empowerment. This type of practice and behavior is not only useful for delivering projects, it can become a great microcosm of the cultural shift that most banks require across the board. An added benefit of agile methodologies is that it can be especially useful in online and mobile-related projects. It is a great approach for ensuring that the customer is at the heart of the decision-making process. It also allows for natural evolution of a user interface to take place. You need to remember that when online banking was launched roughly 12 years ago, it was the first time banks had to design a proper user interface. ATM screens don't count. As banks mature, their models for user-centered design and budget for online and mobile projects increase. The move to Agile only becomes a more natural fit. For banks willing to go on the journey to Agile, it is important that they will understand it will not happen overnight. There will be a transition period for the project team, its stakeholders, and leaders. People will need time to adjust to a collaborative and empowered approach to work. Some projects may fail along the way, but it is worth the small amount of pain. The worst thing you can do is stick your head in the sand and ignore the issue. As banks continue to launch similar services in the online and mobile space, the best way to differentiate will be to deliver and maintain the best user experience.